right. I'm gonna discuss my running journey today. My throat's a bit like sore, so forgive my voice. Um, yeah, so running over the last year has been huge for me. Like, I think I started in January at the beginning of this year, and I was running like 2Ks and like 3Ks, and then and that was just around my area. It was very nice. I was running around. I met up with all like the people walking around, like just casual people walking around, people walking their dogs, that sort of thing. Like it was nice to just sort of like be around and be with the community, like outside of my house, and not just mates that live in the area. Um, yeah, so I did that. Then eventually, it was like a week in or so, I did a park run, and that was really, really good. That was the first time I ever like pushed. It felt like pushing myself. I was really like unfit before that. I mean, I'd been playing soccer for a long time, a lot of indoor, so like I wasn't super unfit, but like it was running was like a whole different thing because like my mind was constantly telling me no, like every time it was like, oh, you can just stop, and I had to like be like no, and like push myself to go and finish everything. And once you set that thing in your mind where you're like there's nothing else other than a finish, then you're definitely going to finish. It's that you need to push yourself through it. So then, like, yeah, after I ran my first park run, I was like, I was so down. I knew like this was like I really enjoyed it, and then I made sure that I was like going a bit more and more and more and more. Um, the issues I had was like I had flat feet, so and before that, like my car got stolen and my art supports were in the car, so I was waiting to get new art supports. So I was running and I was getting a lot of pain, like in my feet, in my arches, that sort of thing. And then like I got basically they got these like ones made to my feet, which were like really nice and probably very expensive, but I started running with them, and I think the first day was all right. Then I ran like a park run like 2 days later, and it was okay, but it did like it wasn't feeling like 100% alright, and then like slowly I adjusted to it and it was fine. And then eventually I ran this one park run and it just like my knee was stuffed. It was like completely like I was in like so much pain every time I extended my knee. Like it felt like there was something like grinding against my knee, and that basically I found out this was at least um 3 months into 3 months into like the whole running and everything. Um, but I mean, it happened for a reason. Yeah, so 3 months in, I really stuffed up my knee, went to physio and everything, found out it was ITB. Um, yeah, and that really annoyed me because, like, I just wanted to run. And at that stage, I became so, like, addicted to it because I was like, I think it was at a stage where like I'd come after a test or exam and I'd be like, yo, let's go for a run. Or any like hard day, I would be like, yeah, let's go for a run. Um, because it was like a constant you're gonna have like a runner's high. Um, it was always like a good thing to sort of push myself. Um, but yeah, so after that knee injury, so the physio trained, like did a lot of the stretches and everything, and over time it sort of like came right. Um, and then I was running a bit more, but like I was at that stage very scared of my knee because when I started running again, it was very it was very like sore. It was like um yeah, it was just a lot of issues that were there, like, and it just felt like anything that felt similar to that pain that I was feeling while running when I first got the injury. Like, I was like scared, like, oh shit, I'm gonna go back into that like thing where I can't run, you know. So after a while, I just focused mainly on the stretches, and I think that was my major lesson, is that I needed to learn how important stretching was. Also how important like your like shoes are, and like art sports and all of that, and like how you need to get used to them and everything. Eventually I felt fine. I was running here and there, then like exams came up, a lot of stress with working, exams, and like, yeah, I mean, trying to keep fit and stuff as well. And then sometimes you give or take, like how much effort you put into those things. Either you're giving more effort into your fitness, or more effort into like making cash, or more effort into your studies or whatever. That like that juggling act like really got to me. And then like I hurt my back like around June. I don't know how. I think it was just a lot of like running with poor stretching and everything. Um, and yeah, probably the art supports as well. But after a while, like I had removed the art supports because like it was just it wasn't helping me at all. Um, yeah, it like it felt like I got used to it, and then after a while it just was annoying me. And then one day I left my art supports at home. I ran without it, and it felt like a lot better. So I was like, okay, well, if I'm feeling better, then like screw the art supports. Then I was running with that. Then like my back kind of got like injured around that time, a lot of stress and stuff. And then like I was just so demotivated, really wasn't running at all. It really like it got me very like depressed about things. But I mean, other things were going on at the time, so like it was just like a really shit patch to be in. And then yeah, then like I slowly got back into it a few months later, closer towards the end of July, more to the beginning of August. And like started running again in August, and then like started pushing properly. um I mean, I saw the physio for my back and stuff, and again that answer was just stretches, stretches, stretches. And I didn't really find like the major issue. Still haven't. I'm still just like pushing the stretching, pushing like better posture, better like, yeah, just trying to fix my back and everything in that like set mindset. um after after that, I kind of, yeah, I read, well, I wasn't reading. I saw a few videos on Born to Run, and my friend Steve was like always talking about the book. And I mean, he we were introduced to that book by Liam as well, which was like really dope. I mean, just the idea of the book itself was awesome. If you're hearing this, you should go and read that book. But yeah, then I did like a bit of research on it, the like ideas in the book, like that you're like just all the whole thing that you're like born to run and everything. And then I got really interested in the idea of like running barefoot. Um, and I did it like, and it was awesome. But then I came home with like 100 splinters in my foot, and it was like really sore. And I had to sit there and for like an hour, like with the tweezers, and like pull it out from my foot, all the what's it called, all the little like twigs and stuff that kind of like got lodged into my foot. Then afterwards I like found out where I could get like a pair of Vibram five fingers. As soon as I bought that, that was a change of like everything. So I started like walking with that, and that was very hard because like that set me back. Like, well, it didn't set me back, but like I realized like I needed to get used to those, and I really took my time getting used to those. Like I was wearing it around the house and stuff, and then like I had to start again from running like a K. I started doing like a K a day. Then I started pushing more. Then I was doing 2, then I was doing 3, building it up, and then I think my back was kind of like it sort of, that issue just disappeared completely. It did like kind of flare up when I wasn't stretching. So like I realized that the two major problems was like sorting out my shoes and then sorting out my stretching. Yeah, so then after that, got the shoes, went on, and I really started pushing the park runs again. Um, I had my best time in June, July. Basically my best time was before. I think it was actually March. March was my best time. That was before any of the art supports, before anything. That was just me running like full freely, injury free and everything. I ran that in 23 minutes and 56 seconds. That was my best time. It still is my best time, but like I've been pushing recently a lot more to get faster at that. Yeah, so recently, August, September, I got very comfortable running 5Ks. My routine now is 2 to 3 times a week. At the very least, I'm running one 5K. Well, this is where I'm at now. Running one 5K and then running. Usually the weekend run is the run that I really push myself just to see how far I can go. So from August till now is November, so I got really comfortable running the park runs, and like I don't know, for whatever reason I just didn't think of going further than that. I think whenever I reached the end I was like, yo, okay, I'm tired, like this is this is a lot, like it's gonna take a lot for me to get from 5 to like any other situation, any other distance. So from 5Ks, yeah, I got very comfortable, and then it was only 2 weeks ago that I started really pushing myself. 2 weeks ago, like I was supposed to, on my route, usually I turn right and head back, but for some reason I was just like, screw it, I'm gonna go left, and I went left. I just went for a whole extra, like to the end, back to like my old high school, up the road, and then came back. At some stage I remember my right foot went like numb. It just felt very, very numb, and then like I had to sort of like, while running, like rotate it and just like try and like maneuver it, I guess, to get it to not feel so numb. Was pushing a lot. What I found is like just chatting to the people around the area, like as you're walking, helps a lot. It gets you out of your head, so you don't feel like too set on like, oh my god, like I just need to finish. Like when you just have like a nice chat, like while you're running, just a casual like, how are you, how's things, or not even that much, just like, hey, it does get you out of your head, and it does like help you run better. Because then you're not too focused on like the results of it, your times and all that other stuff. But yeah, so I finished that. That was the first run that I did that I really pushed myself. I did 8Ks, 8.7Ks. I did it in like 57 minutes or so, 57, 58 minutes. It was, yeah, I was so happy that I finished it. And then the following week I ran the same route. I was gonna do that 8.7, and then I ran into this this runner. He was a PhD student at Wits as well, so he at the same university that I'm at. And we chatted. He told me about like music and like how he's doing that, how he's doing his PhD, like what he's like trying to do with life, what he's trying to do with running and everything. And that was really sick. And then he was like, oh yeah, no, I'm just going down to the MTN building down there. And I was like, okay, like I was coming to the stage where like I was probably a K away from home, and I was like, okay, screw it, I'm gonna come with you. So instead of just running that K and then going home, I ran that K, and then like I went all the way to the MTN building. I think it was, I can't remember what the distance was, but then I went all the way, slapped the MTN sign, said cheers to the guy. We chatted a lot more. Came all the way back home, and then I realized like I ran, it was 11.7 Ks. So like I ran 11 Ks before I ran 10 Ks. So that was like a really nice feeling. That like it if I knew it was 10 Ks, I probably would have just turned around and like gone home. But like I didn't know. I wasn't tracking it. I don't have an Apple Watch. I wasn't listening to music or anything. I was just running like free. I did have like Strava on, so it was monitoring it, but I left my phone in my bag, so I wasn't paying attention to it. Yeah, and I just came home, and it was like what 50. It was 11.7 Ks in like an hour and like 6 minutes or so. So like it was nice to make that big jump, and then I realized that like my time was also better. So like I think if had I finished that 8K then and there, I would have had a much better time than the last time. Uh but what I also realized is like on my way back, my final 2Ks were the fastest that I ran, and I was running that at like 4.5 Ks, 4.5 Ks, no, 4.5 minutes a K, yeah. So it went like I was pushing a lot harder towards the end, and like it was nice to sort of figure out that I had that like extra gas, you know. So then yeah, that was Sunday, no, Saturday. That was my Saturday. And then yesterday, Tuesday, I ran a 5K or 5.7K. I pushed hard. My time was all right. But it was like towards the end of the day where I'm starting to feel like my morning runs are a lot more full and full of energy and everything. So yeah, the main reason I'm doing this whole thing is to just like have something to look back on and say like this is where I was at in the journey. My goal is still to push and run 50 Ks. And yeah, this is me coming from 5Ks. Well, I've spoken about my journey from like 1K. Yeah, so I still am running with the Vibram five finger uh shoes. I think they're amazing. Had it helped me like really fix my like posture and stuff. Been learning a lot about like the technical side of running, like what to do with your like arms and just like keeping upright and everything. Um, but yeah, it's been very, very interesting. And if you're seeing this, like, I hope you get involved in this journey. Hope I can inspire you to do anything, even if it is just reading Born to Run, which you should do. And yeah, I mean, this is a whole project that I can look back on when I make it to the goal of 50 Ks.